Well, breaking right now on Denver 7 News at 7 o'clock on Local 3, a Denver police officer shot while confronting a murder suspect. We have an update on his condition and where the investigation stands this morning.
It's the worst I've ever seen it. I've been here 62 years and the river has never been this high ever.
And it's not over yet. Hurricane Ian is once again gaining strength and now headed toward the Carolinas. We have the latest on the ground in Florida, where some are calling it the worst natural disaster ever to hit the state.
And Broncos country will have to compete with Raider Nation this weekend. How the team is gearing up to kick off against their division rival on Sunday. There's Darth Raider. This is where the Broncos earn their stripes, though. Hopefully they can pull out a win. Thanks for joining us on this Friday. I'm Brian Sanders.
And I'm Nicole Brady. Stacey Donaldson tracking a good forecast to sit inside and watch some football.
That's right. Have some chili. It's going to feel a lot like fall here into the next 48 hours. We have a cold front making its way through the state now, so our highs will only be in the 70s this afternoon. We'll see some rain later on today and into the evening. So our hourly planner just wanted to show you the later half of the day so you can kind of make your plans, because we are going to have to deal with some scattered rain and thunderstorms later on this evening. We'll have more rain into tomorrow as well, with even cooler temperatures only in the 60s. Today, though, we're in the 70s. We'll have partly sunny skies into the afternoon with that rain showing up later on. At this point, scattered showers here for northwestern Colorado and a red flag warning here for the area around Springfield for high fire danger. But it will be mostly clear for this morning. Then we'll see those storms move in with that cold front as we get into the later part of the day. And we'll see those showers here along the I-25 corridor and the eastern plains going into later this evening.
One crash over by the south side of Stanley Lake at 86th and Kipling for you folks up there. This is from Air Tracker 7. You can see from C470 in Santa Fe. What we're looking at is this would be the southbound side of Santa Fe. There's northbound right there. Here's C470 going west and east. Here's that flyover that would take you east on C470 in the train. This section of Santa Fe from here all the way down to Highlands Ranch Parkway, major construction starts on Monday, and it will be in place for about a year and a half or so. And there's going to be some partial continuous flow interchanges built in there and widening. It's going to be really, really big construction for us, and it's going to cost some delays for you over the next about year and a half at least. The drive over here on 225 looks fine. I-70, 270 getting busier in some of those usual spots, but really nothing else major on the highways for you right now.
What started out as a search for a suspect turned into a shootout with police in the middle of a busy intersection.
Denver 7's Jessica Crawford joins us from that intersection this morning. Jessica, where does the investigation stand?
So right now they're trying to learn a little bit more about a woman who is actually in the car with a suspect. Also, they are hoping for the best as that officer continues to recover. So far, he seems to be doing well. He is a 20-year DPD veteran, and right now they say that he's talking with doctors, that he's stable, and that his prognosis is looking good. All of this comes after Denver officers were in this part of Broomfield around 3 p.m. searching for a warrant fugitive who was also connected to a murder investigation. They spotted him in a white car heading down Sheridan Boulevard, and the suspect got into a crash with a blue car at the intersection with Midway. The suspect got out and tried to carjack a third vehicle, but was unsuccessful. The suspect took off running and shot at Denver officers, hitting one of them in the neck. Other police shot back and killed that suspect.
I think you can imagine what he's feeling right now. Certainly grateful that he's gotten such tremendous amount of support from the community and from law enforcement.
And we are working to learn right now about more on that homicide investigation that suspect was possibly tied to. Otherwise, the good news here is that no one else was hurt. Live in Broomfield, I'm Jessica Crawford, Denver 7.
A little silver lining there. Thank you, Jessica. If it feels like a familiar trend to you, unfortunately, you're right. 5 Colorado police officers have been shot in the last year. Most recent, of course, 27-year-old Dylan Bakoff of Arvada Police. He died responding to a domestic violence incident earlier this month. And it's not just happening here. It's a national problem. The Fraternal Order of Police says as of August, 234 officers have been shot this year, 45 of them fatally. That's up 7% from 2020.
Let's take a look now at where Ian is currently tracking. Ian upgraded to a hurricane status again as it gains strength in the Atlantic and is expected to hit the South Carolina coast later this afternoon as a Category 1 hurricane. We know at least a dozen lives have been lost in Florida this morning, and more than 2 million customers are still without power as Ian now tracks to hit the Carolinas and Virginia and affect the upper east coast of the U.S. Take a look at this. This is the sheer power of water. Yeah, this video was taken in a Naples apartment building. A man who recorded it said the water just came rushing through that door over his head. He held onto a guardrail to stay safe.
I lost my shoes. I got completely submerged underwater, all above my head, and I ran up the stairs barefoot after that. It looks like a bomb went off here, to be honest with you. It's beyond what I thought was capable of happening.
Wow. Take a look at this flooding too. People are having to get around by boat in a neighborhood. This is in Hardee County, Florida, about 90 minutes east of Tampa, 60 miles inland from the coast. And you can see feet of water drowning out the homes there. And it comes as officials say Hurricane Ian, once again, is set to become the largest natural disaster in Florida history.
ABC's Justin Finch is in St. Petersburg with a look at the beginning of the cleanup.
Good morning. Progress on the ground at Tropicana Field, where trucks are leaving now to head off to restore power across southwestern Florida. Millions still waking up in the dark this morning. Recovery now beginning as search and rescue efforts are racing against time. Destruction as far as the eye can see. Southwest Florida in shambles after Hurricane Ian roared ashore, lashing the area with near Category 5 storm strength.
You watch things starting to fly. Lunar eye went off. Part of the roof went off. The rest of the roof went off. The walls caved in.
The difficult search for survivors underway.
These are very challenging circumstances for our rescuers, very dangerous circumstances. They're dealing with high water, cities that don't look like cities anymore.
ABC's Victor Okendo with the Cajun Navy. This mother and daughter rescued from the top of their car.
3 hours watching the water rise. What was that like?
Scared to death. Scared to death. I thought I was going to die right there.
This could be the deadliest hurricane in Florida's history.
President Biden warning the number of deaths from the storm is likely to rise significantly.
The impacts of this storm are historic, and the damage that was done has been historic.
The Southwest Florida landscape transformed. The U.S. Coast Guard surveying the damage from above. Barreling east over central Florida, a weakened Ian brought heavy rain plus storm surges. ABC's Trevor Ault on the impact.
It led to significant flooding in places like St. Augustine. It led to water rescues in Daytona Beach.
The eastern shores of Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas on high alert as Ian now moves north, on track for a second landfall as a Category 1 hurricane in South Carolina. Justin Finch, ABC News, St. Petersburg.
You can help people impacted by Ian. Denver 7 Gives is partnering with the Scripps Howard Fund for hurricane relief. Our teams across Florida will work with local organizations to make sure every penny you donate goes directly to those in need. So you can text STORM to 50155 or just scan the QR code on your screen or visit denver7.com/hurricane relief to donate.
Well, the Broncos' schedule steps up a notch against a division rival. Sunday, they meet the Raiders for the first time this season.
And the Raiders are currently 0-3 this season, last place in the AFC West, but the record doesn't really matter in these games.
Because of the fact that, we see each other twice a year, it always comes down to how we play against each other for our postseason berths and stuff like that. So as an organization, as a team, that we just got to hate them.
Our fans are the best in the league, and we're going to go out there and prove that we're still the best defense in the league.
Yeah, man, coming in, everybody hated the Raiders, so you just got to hop on that bandwagon. But, as you can see from last year, we really don't like them. They don't like us. So it is what it is. So it's going to be fun.
We're already looking ahead to Thursday night football, a short week for the Broncos. You can watch them take on the Colts right over on Denver 7, the only station broadcasting the game, or the only broadcast station, in fact, that's carrying the game. Our coverage starts at 5 p.m. Kickoff is just after 6, and then, of course, we have post-game coverage. ABC's Thursday night premieres of Station 19, Grey's Anatomy, and Alaska Daily will air right here on Local 3 next Thursday starting at 7 p.m. Stacy.
Looking good today. A few changes in the works over the next 48 hours. A cold front making its way through the state. Now we have a few scattered showers up towards Steamboat and northwestern Colorado, but right now temperatures in the 50s as we start out our day, and we're headed into the 70s for afternoon highs. Tomorrow only in the 60s, and I'll lay it all out for you with the 7-day forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
And right now looking along 6th Avenue from the west side of town, West Denver, from Air Tracker 7, and you can see that it's a good looking drive for us. Here's the Knox Bridge. There's Perry Street. Here's Sheridan back here. So starting to see that traffic build up, going up that hill climb and then hit the sunshine before you get to Federal. It's always a little bit bright and slow in there. But the overall drive looks pretty decent around town. Not too many problems to deal with on or off the highways right now.
Well, if you haven't started the process of canceling your student loan debt, you might need to check if you're still eligible. The last-minute changes the Biden administration is rolling out. Plus.
So hey, naughty, naughty. Hey, naughty, naughty.
The Bard is back with a twist. The things that are a little bit different about this production of Much Ado About Nothing.